Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pixelore for a review of Rings of Power, Season 2, Episodes 3 and 4. I am joined, as always, by Landry, Quinn, Walker.
Good morning.
Good night. I'm going to bed now. See you next time. No.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
We're like I said, we're here today to discuss 3 and 4. We did 1 and 2 like 2 weeks ago. Next week we'll be doing 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And then we only have 2 more in the season.
Short season. I mean, I guess it's what they did last year. I 2 years ago. I don't know, but I don't feel like it's enough this time around. Whereas the last time, I think I was okay with it.
Well, I think if it's just more Numenor stuff, I'm going to be okay with it because I really hate Numenor. I think that's that's my biggest complaint getting into episode 3. I'm just going to start off. I was thinking about, well, how are we going to go ahead and do this? Because I rewatched the episodes today, and I cannot stand that entire area. I'm not interested enough to have to watch as the weird bearded guy who's not a wizard. Dresses like a wizard, but he's not a wizard.
Alfarazon.
Yeah, no.
Now, he is a Tolkien character. He is not an original creation.
That doesn't matter.
And knowing what I know about him, I find this really interesting. Now, there's certain things we know, and I'm not a big, super well-educated person on the Numenorian history. And it's clearly they're taking some liberties with all sorts of things here and mashing together things that from thousands of years into one story. But I believe where they're headed is pretty well broadcast, and it connects with what we know about the character. We're heading towards the destruction of Numenor, right? He is I don't know what you know. Do you care? You don't care about spoilers, right? Of theory spoilers.
No, I don't. I'm fine.
I mean, he wants to sail on the gods. He's going to sail on the gods. He's going to destroy Numenor in some kind of mad fit for more and more power that's insatiable. And it's Sauron who's going to tempt him to do it. Sauron, that's what's going to happen. This guy is becoming increasingly power hungry, and Sauron is going to convince him to sail on the gods, which this is one time Eru Ilúvatar makes his presence felt, and he's going to destroy Atlantis style. He's going to destroy Numenor, and the Numenorians are going to flee to the south of the coast of Middle Earth. Or somewhere I was going to go with that. And I'm wondering if his son, I keep looking to go, who's the Witch King? Who's the Witch King of Angmar? Because it's got to be one of these people, right?
I mean, I suppose.
I think it's got to be his kid. I think he's the Witch King of Angmar. We know that the Witch King was a Numenorian. And so I think it would be a weird thing for them not. That's all we know. We know the name of, I think it's Kamul or whatever, is the second highest ranking Nazgul. So he's an Easterling, who I'm wondering if we may also see. That's everything we know about the Nazgul. We don't know anything else about them, I think.
I mean, do you think we'll be getting to them this soon?
Well, I think we'll get to them in this show, assuming it isn't canceled. Yeah, I don't think we will. I don't know that we'll get to them in these episodes, but I've been wondering this since season 1. Numenor is not the most exciting part. Season 1, Numenor bored the hell out of me. And season 2, however, I'm starting to become interested.
I can't follow that because I get the irritating girl who found the elf stone at the end of last season because the king basically said, "Oh, it's in there," and that whole scene, I was like, okay, okay, they're freaking out, and then giant eagle came, and guy's like, oh, look at me in the red. It favors him. Oh, it favors him. Yay! I no, nothing. I was just totally tuned out at the moment because I saw everything. I was more interested in how they were going about the dwarven rings in this episode.
Oh, I'm very, very interested in that. So I didn't just rewatch them. So why don't you give us a quick summary of what you think? Why don't you?
So at the end of the last episode, episode 2, we know that we have our they're all named Durin.
Yeah, they're all Durans.
They're all Durin. That's what it was. I had a couple of names in my mind. I just played D&D yesterday, and I was coming up with names all over the place. So I was about to confuse it with another dwarf named Durg. Anyway, back to the important thing. The disowned Prince Durin was invited by Celebrimbor to come and have a discussion about the rings and how the rings could help heal their mountain. Disa, I love Disa, but why Disa? She's the problem here.
She is.
She hears, oh my gosh, they have a way to heal the mountain. No, we don't need to ask questions. We're just leaving it as is. But Durin, he doesn't trust Anatar, Sauron. But he goes ahead and brings the news to his father. And at the end of the day, they need to heal the mountain. So they go ahead, they give the mithril to Celebrimbor, and they start forging new rings. And that's just a quick summary of that. I will say I did kind of like the scene with Durin and Durin when he goes to his father, you know.
I'm loving everything with that. That's fantastic. Go on.
I was trying to think. Something was odd in it to me. But I can't find what it is. That's just not sitting completely right. But all the dialogue seemed fine. What's the last thing that he says to him? I have calloused fists. Miners have calloused fists. And the king says, well, wait until your kids grow up, basically. And I mean, yeah, that line is delivered better in the show, but that's head in the head.
You know what part of this show is boring me? I shouldn't say boring me. There is still one part. It's like I said, in season 1, the Numenorians bored me.
Mm-hmm.
In season 1, also the Southlands bored me. The Southlands still bore me. The Southlands are very boring to me. I do not care about the Southlands. Now, I think the dwarves, other than the fact that Disa is... I said this last time. Disa keeps flipping on, like, you have to do this. You have to do this. Like, Disa, pick a lane. Yeah, that's basically where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand that. That she is having a problem at the moment. It's like, okay, it's a little much. It's unnecessary. But I do love her. But episode 5 has some promising things. Listen, he didn't sing enough, though. We get our man, Tom Bombadil. He did not sing enough.
No, he did not. But what an interesting introduction. So what do you think about the stranger?
But I'm still telling you that it's going to end up just being Gandalf, man.
Blue. Okay, so I mean, everything lines up for the Blue Wizard, though.
He goes ahead because the stranger ends up after the big storm that he did at the end of episode 2?
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 or 1. I don't know. They keep going everywhere. And he ends up waking up, and he finds Tom Bombadil. He's living right here, right now. He has his shack. There's no true mention of Goldberry yet, but we did get to hear a little bit with her. That was nice. His fair river maiden.
Blue Wizard, telling you. It all lines up.
Tom Bombadil is basically there to say, oh, you have a future. You have a future. You're going to face the Dark Wizard, and then you're going to face Sauron.
Right. And who's the Dark Wizard?
I can't remember his name.
Well, I mean, they haven't named him.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No.
A name was given.
No, the name of his little henchman crony was given.
I think you are. I think you're mistaken. Seen the episode twice
now. He's the Dark Wizard. That's his name, according to the internet. Yeah, of course, the internet theorizes he's Saruman, which would be really, really weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
Some people think he's Camul. That would also be he's definitely not Camul. No, they haven't given his name.
I guess I was wrong. I guess I'm mistaken.
So here's the thing. There are only 5. There are 5. There's Gandalf, Saruman, Radagast, and the 2 Blue Wizards. Those are the 5 wizards. So we know it's not Radagast. The Dark Wizard is clearly not Gandalf or Radagast. We can take those right out of the equation. Some people think he's Saruman. That would be pretty weird. He's definitely, if he's Saruman, that's definitely not Gandalf. They're definitely not both Gandalf and Saruman.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Again.
And so one of them, by default, has to be a Blue Wizard. And if one of them is a Blue Wizard, I'm telling you, both of them are Blue Wizards. The Blue Wizard's headed to the east. You know what Gandalf said about the east? He never went there. He says that in the books. He says, I never went to the east.
I'm telling you, man. I don't. So what was so? I suppose Jolly Tom, could just be could be saying he will face Sauron, but he won't actually be key in his ultimate defeat.
Well, I mean, don't forget Sauron faces many defeats. I don't think he's talking about, the end of Return of the Jedi. There's a different war coming. There's a different defeat coming. Sauron is defeated for thousands of years. I
mean, I guess ultimately these threads do have to tie together. So right. I guess I'm still telling you, they're just not they're not going to put that much thought into it. They're just going to make it Gandalf.
Do you know what, in at least one of Tolkien's versions, the Blue Wizards did? Thwarted Sauron in the East during the Second Age.
I mean, if that's where he's heading next, but when we talked about this show early days, the team had said that they had imagined a 5-season run.
Yeah,
they had 5 seasons planned. So there's a lot that they might still be thinking. I suppose it could be, but I just don't. I don't trust it yet. Still. I just don't. I just don't trust that creativity. It would be the preferred choice. We also have I have to talk about what was the name of the elf. Oh gosh, I can't remember.
Which elf?
The one that's basically alone for most of the show.
In the Southlands?
Where he was in love with the human woman.
Yeah, no, I don't remember his name.
I don't either. But he has a heavy part to play in this episode. And
yeah, that's the stuff that bores me a lot.
Yeah, that stuff is. And I also I'm not sure how I felt about the fact that there was a female Ent. Because I swore that it was supposed to be longer that the tree wives had not been around. What is it that he said? There's a whole part in that first portion of the book. Talks about the Ents and the tree wives. Dost thou recall?
I'm thinking, and I do not.
Because the Ent part is interesting. Interesting. I didn't suspect that at the end because I forgot the part with the Southlands goes ahead, and it's in episode 3 and 4. At the end, we have the one Numenorian boy that he goes ahead. His horse Barrack is very important to him. Treats him like a dog, basically. In the pet way, not the treat him like a dog. And yeah, no, that stuff is all boring. It's just so boring. It's completely boring. I don't like any of the characters. I don't really dislike them, but I don't like them. Pardon me.
Yeah, Theo was one of the worst parts of season 1. Theo was terrible. I have no interest in Ents in this. I have no interest in I get why they might do them, but this is the problem with doing Lord of the Rings in terms of anything that's not Lord of the Rings, but you know what I mean. Tolkien, his mythology is it's not a very robust pantheon of or bestiary to work with, a robust sort of like you can just do more of the same. If you deter much, people get mad. If you add many things, people get mad. If you do show them, people get mad. There's really kind of a no-win scenario here.
Is that the Ent of your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I just I'm not interested in seeing the Ent wives, whether they should be there or not. I don't really care. I'm just not that interested. I feel like this show suffers from characters travel like large distances in a short period of time when the whole point of with the original Lord of the Rings trilogy had, let's go on a really long walk. Anyway.
The last thing we have to address is Galadriel and Elrond and their little journey.
Okay. Speaking of barrel whites.
You don't look happy here.
Okay. I preface here, I still enjoyed it. This is not something that makes it difficult for me or bad for me, but it is impossible in the lore for there to be Barrow Wights. Just like the wraiths we saw before. The Barrow Wights are the creation of the Witch King of Angmar that happens in the Third Age during his war with was it Angband or wherever, the Gondorian settlements, or the Numenorian settlements. They are the raised bodies of these descendants of Numenorians, inhabited with spirits from the spirit realm. They can't exist yet. Those crypts can't exist yet. The war that would cause these people to be dead does not exist. The person who created them does not exist. The tombs cannot exist. It doesn't make sense. This is simply like, well, what do we have that we can use? Well, they didn't do anything with the Barrow Wights. We can use the Barrow Wights. Hey, the Barrow Wights don't show up for another couple thousand years. It's fine. No one knows that. Just put them in. The thing is, I feel like this stuff undermines the presence of other spectral creations like the ring wraiths, but it is what it is. It didn't ruin anything for me, but did I love it? No. It's just weird to see.
Also, with how episode 4 ends, because Galadriel gives the ring to Elrond, and Elrond's like, no, she's sacrificing herself to a bunch of orcs because she wants to protect the ring. It's not for us. And yeah, that's what it feels like. Galadriel's harder to read now than she is later.
I'm kind of happy she's a smaller part of the story this season. It really feels like this season's much more about the dwarves, so I feel like we're deeply underserved in the first season. And we haven't talked about Celebrimbor, really, have we?
No, we haven't. He does have some good scenes here.
Oh
gosh.
I mean, they're finally getting to where I feel like they should have started.
Like he's getting fed up with what do you mean Gil-galad doesn't want to?
Well, I mean, Celebrimbor is prideful, and he's desperate to leave his mark on things. That's his whole thing. Like, he's the grandson of Feanor, who crafted the Silmarils, and he wants that greatness for himself. And he sees that opportunity flee, like he's losing that chance, and that's how Sauron gets in with him.
Yeah,
by appearing as Anatar, Lord of Gifts.
No, those scenes actually are really entertaining. We did neglect to mention one last thing, though.
What's that?
The Harfoots.
Right.
They find other Harfoots, but they aren't.
Yes. Harfoots. Or Stoors.
Stoors, yes. Apparently, it's revealed that old Sadok Burrows is a descendant of one of the Stoors who were quite different, and said that he would find, what did they call it? The Suzat?
I don't remember.
It says basically he's looking for the Shire.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, undoubtedly. Which, by the way, is gifted to them after the battles with the Witch King of Angmar by the king of the region. That land is gifted because hobbits participate in some of those battles. So, one more thing back there, because that all happens up north. We have nothing about. Excuse me. We have nothing about Harfoot, hobbits, whatever, during this age at all, of course. Yeah. Certainly none in the East. We've never have any mention of them in the East. I don't find them very interesting either, but I don't really care one way or another. My focus with the story is on three parts. It is the stranger, and by connection the dark wizard that he has to face, along with Tom Bombadil. That's all interesting to me. The dwarves, everything with the dwarves is interesting to me. And Celebrimbor and the Forging of Rings is interesting to me. Those are the things I want to see. I don't care about the rest.
That's right.
At all.
It's time for Numenor to fall now.
Right. And I do find Numenor interesting because I know where it's going and how it ties in, depending on how they execute it, but is what it is.
Yeah.
It's not the most exciting stuff.
No, it's not. It's not. And I'm still not happy there wasn't enough singing with Tom Bombadil.
You're not wrong there.
There has to be more.
Agreed.
In the next 2 episodes, I know he's going to make another appearance. He has one little singing scene with Goldberry, which was kind of odd. Why? I don't know why he's trying to hide his wife. Trying to hide his family.
I don't know. That was a little weird.
Because you hear him while the stranger's taking a bath. You hear him singing, and Goldberry's singing along, and the stranger gets out, puts on a towel, and somebody here. You're here, aren't you? Yes. Yeah. A lot of okay things, a lot of not okay things, and it's just a mixed bag.
Mostly, I'm really enjoying it. I think my bar has always been lower than yours with that. I think there's a lot to really like as an alternate reality version of the Tolkien mythos. They are really unfilmable, in my opinion. The Second Age is an unfilmable sort of cacophony of stuff that Tolkien himself never even finished. There's really no way to make it a TV show, and they're doing what they're doing with it. As I tell people who are really critical of it, if you want to point me in the direction of another television show with wizards and dwarves and rings that give people magic powers, sign me up. Let me know where it is.
Yeah, no, I get you. I know.
I don't know if you can tell. I like wizards. See,
just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Are you saving your wizard hat, your blue wizard hat, to go ahead and wear if he's revealed to be a blue wizard?
It's literally right over. I keep looking, going, God, why didn't I realize it just when we went live? I'm like, I should have grabbed that. Now I'm gonna get the full regalia. I mean, I hope he's not Gandalf, because he doesn't need to be. There are other interesting characters in Middle Earth, and there are 2 wizards that we never got the story for, other than Tolkien wrote 2 possible versions. One version, they stay true to their mission and they undermine Sauron's efforts in the east, and because of them, Sauron is not a much greater power when everyone faces him in the west during when he gets his ring cut from his finger. It's them that keep that from happening. That happens in the Second Age. Another version of the tale is they go there and they fall and they become corrupted, and they form dark cults even after the fall of Sauron. They persist. So in one version, Tolkien postulated on they're good, and on the other, and they fight Sauron. On the other version, they're evil and they become lackeys of Sauron. I feel like we're getting both of those in one. They're using it so they can have opposing forces. We'll see. They may decide, no, he's going to be Gandalf because we want the marketability of saying, we've got Gandalf, but he doesn't need to be. And everything is set up to where he doesn't have to be. And it would make sense if you know the lore. But how many people don't know the lore and will be mad when he goes, my name's Alatar? And they'll go, what? Who? Maybe he has to be Gandalf.
No.
Just to keep people happy.
And then in like season 4, the Harfoots will find the Shire, and that'll be
that would be early, considering they don't. I don't know when they find the Shire, but I mean, Gollum and his people are still down at the banks of the Anduin 500 years before Lord of the Rings. That's when he finds the ring. But this shows Bork's timelines. Maybe in this version, Gollum finds the ring right away.
Hey, what's here?
He's
I know.
actually Nori.
That's Nori's Gollum.
Yeah.
My precious.
There we go. How dark would that be?
That wouldn't work though, because
For a lot of reasons.
for so many reasons.
I mean, bearing in mind, it's definitely not. I mean, the only thing I'll say is people keep trying to visually or criticize this or connect it back to Jackson's Lord of the Rings. This is not a shared universe MCU event. This is its own thing. It's Lord of the Rings existed before Jackson, and should continue to exist after. So this is different. However, they do occasionally try to connect it, and I don't love that. So anyway, are we ranking this? How many rings are we giving it?
We haven't ranked this. We haven't ranked the last ones. And I wouldn't be giving it many rings.
Oh. Okay, how are you liking it compared to season 1?
Pardon me. There are some interesting threads that I'm enjoying more. I am enjoying the Stranger a little more. Now that he's, actually talking.
Sure.
Because do you remember that he didn't speak until the last episode of season 1?
I do.
So annoying. But now he's actually speaking and he has thoughts and he can say wise things like a name isn't something that you can give someone. It's something that will something you will hear and you will think this is right. Or whatever he says in the what was it, episode 1, episode 2 this season. So I like that. I love the dwarves. Dwarves are great.
I mean, the show could just be about the dwarves. I'd be perfectly happy.
That's what they should have done.
I would have been fine with it.
The Dwarves of the Rings. No.
I mean, or that said, I love me some wizards. So, all right. I think we've summarized it.
I think that's it. Yeah. We'll be back next week with more because there's more. Actually, more. 5 and 6 are available right now, so I could technically watch them and be ready for next week. But
we will. Yes.
Yes. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Leave your thoughts below. Bye.
Bye.